What's going on, all my Poke Peeps? It's your boy Poke Pete. And today, now that Temporal Forces has been out for a while, I just wanted to talk about kind of Sword and Shield versus Scarlet Violet. A lot of people give Scarlet Violet a lot of hate, myself included. I have been definitely one of the people who have said Scarlet and Violet Era sucks, Scarlet Violet Era is killing Pokemon, Scarlet Violet Era is just not good, Sword and Shield is where it was at, like it was so much better, and I've definitely said that, but one of my buddies showed me a little infographic a couple days ago. He posted it to our Discord, and it was like Sword and Shield versus Scarlet and Violet, and it showed the set-by-set releases, and it kind of made me wonder, like, is Scarlet and Violet actually as bad as all of us are kind of making it out to be right now? It's a very, very popular opinion that Sword and Shield Era was just better. But is that actually true? So today we're going to dive into it, and we're actually going to compare Scarlet and Violet versus Sword and Shield so far. All of the sets, kind of just take a little once over, kind of see, like, is it fair to say Scarlet and Violet is worse? So, with that, we are going to go ahead and pull up some sets. Before we can dive into Scarlet and Violet versus Sword and Shield, one other thing we need to look at is the final set of Sun and Moon, which is the series right before Sword and Shield. The reason that I want to look at that is because when I'm judging new sets and when I'm like making my assessments of stuff, I'm kind of saying, okay, did they change anything? Did Pokemon make anything new? What's different here? Why is this better? Why is this worse, kind of thing? And to do that, to compare Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet, I wanted to also just compare really quickly Sun and Moon to Sword and Shield. So in the last set, it's Cosmic Eclipse. You had the GX Tag Team cards. So Tag Teams were only introduced for the last 4 sets of the Sun and Moon era. They do not carry over. So that's gone. The Tag Teams are gone. Personally, I really like Tag Teams. I thought they were cool. It definitely gives Sun and Moon its own kind of, thing. It makes it Sun and Moon special. So I'm not like mad that they didn't continue them, but I definitely liked the Tag Team cards. But basically the Tag Team GXs and like the regular GXs were replaced with V cards, Pokemon V cards and V stars. So those are kind of like the same thing in my opinion. It's like, all right, we went from EX to GX, now to V, back to EX for Scarlet and Violet. So like those are all kind of same level of rarity, same kind of thing. You got, all your just regular base set stuff, your commons, your uncommons, your playable cards, your collectible cards. We got some full arts here. We've got the alternate arts for the tag teams, which are really, really cool. So, you got your full arts, you got your alt arts. Those things did continue over into the Sword and Shield era and even further into the Scarlet Violet era. So nothing crazy new or removed there. Full art trainers, those still exist. We've got these are kind of like the OG trainer galleries. These came out for Cosmic Eclipse. They're kind of like the OG character and Pokemon cards. It became the trainer gallery cards in Brilliant Stars in the Sword and Shield era. And then in Scarlet and Violet, they don't have like trainer galleries or whatever you want to call these necessarily, but they have like regular art rares of Pokemon, which is like a very, very similar style. So I kind of compare all of those together. We've got the rainbow cards, which are super cool. Those are still going to be in the Sword and Shield era. They actually got nixed in Scarlet and Violet, so that's, something different. And then the gold cards, we've got a whole bunch of gold, like Pokemon supporters, stadium cards, but no gold Pokemon. And in Sword and Shield base, as we're about to go jump into, we will see that those were actually introduced to Sword and Shield base with Zamazenta and Zacian over here. So as you guys can see, Sword and Shield base set, we still have all the gold cards. We still have all the rainbow cards. The only real newish thing that got introduced, we got new gold Pokemon. Before it was just the items. It's like a little new. We still have the full art trainers, the full art Pokemon. We got all your regular cards, all your competitive cards. Like I said, they upgraded to Vs and VMAXs instead of GXs or EXs or whatever. They did introduce like the VMAX, which is like just kind of a different version of the same Pokemon and the Vs. They didn't do that with the GXs. The GXs couldn't evolve. So, like this evolves from the V. A little bit cooler, sure. They introduced like Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing. Makes sense. It's Sword and Shield era, so, as they should. So we got that. Kind of cool. But overall, I would say, for the most part, Sword and Shield base set, pretty similar. to Sun and Moon. Just about the same. They got rid of tag teams. GX changed to V. They added gold shiny Pokemon. That's about the only main difference. So now we're going to compare the actual sets themselves. Sword and Shield base set, I mean, like, most of you guys don't really care that much about bulk cards. They're cool. I like artworks, but for today's purpose, we're just going to kind of talk about some of the hit cards. So the Sword and Shield base set, the hit cards are down here. You got this beautiful Snorlax full art. That's a cool one. We got the Marnie full art trainer. That's a pretty big one. You got the Rainbow Snorlax VMAX. That's a good one. You got some of these gold cards. We got some useful cards like the Air Balloon, the Quick Ball. Got some Rainbow Trainers. Just little stuff. As a whole, not the strongest set in the world. You know, Sword and Shield base set, not the strongest set in the world. But it's still a pretty good set. It's pretty cool. Like the Marnie. I only bring this up because we got to talk about values a little bit too. When you're going to compare some sets, you want to compare some value. So this Marnie is like aged, 4 years now? 4 years ago is when this came out. So it's been aged for a while. TCG Player has it listed right around $32 for a near mint copy. Troll and Toad has it around 50. eBay sales, which you need to be using, has it right around 36. So we're going to call it right around $36 for the Marnie. That's one of the bigger hits in the set. Then you got the Snorlax. This is one of the bigger Pokemon in the set, looking like right around $25-30 for the Snorlax. You know, those are like two of the bigger cards in the set, probably the biggest cards in the set. They are the biggest cards in the set. But so yeah, so like we got some nicer cards. We got a cool trainer, we got a cool Pokemon, and we got a cool set overall. To me, Sword and Shield didn't really introduce too much new stuff, so it's like whatever. You know, it's just they're kicking off the new generation. They get the new Pokemon introduced. I get it. It's cool. As a whole, not a bad set. Comparing that to Scarlet and Violet, we come right on over here. Scarlet and Violet base set, and Scarlet and Violet base set. What are we going to see? We start getting into the hits. So we've got all of the Illustrator rares, or the art rares, whatever you guys want to call them. These are kind of like the trainer galleries. It's not necessarily something new, but we don't get to see it in the base set for Sword and Shield. It is very, very nice. Like, these cards are nice. They're very, very full arty Pokemon type things. Like, I really like the Riolu. Another one that I really like is the entire Ralts line. Like, they started putting cards together so you can kind of see if my Pokelector would load. Pokelector giving me a hard time. Okay. Let's try it again. I don't know what happened there. It cut out for a second. But as you guys can kind of see, so here you go. You look at this Ralts. You got like a kid moving into a new house, got a Ralts. They're just getting settled in. Then it evolves into the Kirlia. The Ralts becomes Kirlia. They have a baby. They just moved into their new house. They're all unpacked. They just have a baby. And then the Gardevoir, which is the special Illustrator rare, is down here a little bit. And now the Gardevoir is there. The baby's moved out. The family is old and gray. And it's just kind of like the evolution of a Pokemon with a family. The cards all go together. It tells a story. I kind of like the Pokemon did that. I thought that was really cool. You still got gold cards. You still got gold Pokemon cards. They got rid of rainbows as a whole, which I know a lot of people don't mind. Still got the full arts. They added the full art Terra Pokemon since you can Terra evolve in Scarlet and Violet games. That's kind of cool. I personally like that. Art rare is dope. And when you're just kind of comparing the two, like, I mean, the hit pool is so much denser in Scarlet and Violet base. The cards look a lot better in Scarlet and Violet base. The playable stuff is all still there. The bulk and common stuff is all still there. The V's got replaced by like regular EXs. So it's like, it's all the same stuff for the most part. The hits, though they didn't really add anything super, super new since trainer galleries were a thing. Alt arts were a thing, full arts were a thing. They might not have changed too much, but overall, I just think the set is a lot better. And now this set's been out for a year. Let's look at some values of a cards after a year. We got Miriam, which is still sitting at like 32 from eBay. So the Marnie that was sitting at 36, 4 years old, 4 years aged. A lot of people would say Marnie is actually a more desirable trainer than Miriam too. And the Miriam's still already at $32 for like one of the more expensive. I think this is the most expensive card in the set. And then I think the Gardevoir is sitting right around 20 to 25. I believe that's the second most expensive card in the set, if my Pokelector would decide to work. I don't know what's going on, guys. It just doesn't like me. Gardevoir sitting, again, right around 25. So, like, the same as the Snorlax. And this set hasn't gotten any age yet. And on top of that, there's just a multitude of tons of hits that you could possibly get. So, for me, I got to give the edge. Honestly, comparing the two, you got Sword and Shield base, you got Scarlet and Violet base. I've got to give the nod to Scarlet and Violet base. I think they're taking this one. So, very first sets, I've been a huge critic of Scarlet and Violet. I've said that I'm not excited about Scarlet and Violet. They made the pull rates too easy. They made some of the chase cards a little less expensive. But when you actually sit down and compare the two, Scarlet and Violet definitely better than Sword and Shield, at least for the base set. So that's 1-0 Scarlet Violet. And we're going to move into the next set, the second set. For Sword and Shield Era, we got Rebel Clash, also known as Rebel Trash. Nothing new introduced here. We still got our same old. We got our Bulk. We got our Sandaconda. No alt art yet, but we got our Sandaconda. Just, same old. They introduced a lot of really playable cards. So this set was great for the deck building. This set was great for playable cards. Introduced stuff like Boss's Orders. Huge staple card. It still is today a staple card. Scoop Up Net was really good. You've got these special energies, which are really good. I remember playing these in the Reggie Gigas Ancient Wisdom deck when I was playing the game still. So a lot of really good trainer cards in here. You still got all your full art Pokemon. None of them, to be honest, like known as Rebel Trash, none of these are really the craziest Pokemon. They didn't really do any fan favorites. The most expensive card in this set is actually the full art Boss's Orders, coming in at $35. That is the most expensive card in Rebel Clash. It's a great artwork. I absolutely love this card. I love Team Rocket. I love Giovanni. I'm all about this card. But, this is like a $200 booster box now. I'm not trying to open a $200 booster box for a $30 card. And on top of that, no other new introductions here, right? We still have our rainbows. We still have our golds. We got our gold shiny Pokemon. We've got our useful cards. We've got our energies. We've got our full art trainers. We've got our full art Pokemon. Overall, as a set, kind of lacking. Again, this is like 4 years aged. The best card in the set is like $35. The booster boxes themselves are like $200. So, hard to come by. Again, another thing to think about too. This set did come out before the big boom in Pokemon, so everybody wasn't like going crazy over these cards trying to grab them. Pokemon didn't print as many runs of these cards, so that's probably why the sealed product is definitely going to be worth a little bit more. It's just a little bit more scarce, but as a whole, the set kind of mid, to be honest with you. And then we go look at the second set of Scarlet and Violet. We got Paldea Evolved, and Paldea Evolved, you got all your bulk, you got all your EXs, you got all your good stuff. We start getting into the hits, and already we've got all the great art rares, which are beautiful. This set has quite a few banger art rares. The most expensive card in this set actually is an art rare. It's the Magikarp Illustrator rare right here, which is a beautiful card. You got the Magikarp here. You got some Gyarados. He's trying to swim up a waterfall. These are going for like $65-$70 right now. It's an absolutely beautiful card. This just came out a year ago, and it is already double the price of the best card in Rebel Trash. So, I've given a lot of hate to Scarlet and Violet, and I think it's time that I kind of say I was wrong and kind of put some faith back in Pokemon. I've been so, just discouraged, I guess, with the hobby and, unenthusiastic about where the hobby's going right now with the Scarlet and Violet era. Because I just remember all the alt-arts from Sword and Shield, and we got spoiled with all those alt-arts. They were great, and we just kind of kept expecting things like that to keep happening. And then Scarlet and Violet came out, we didn't get that. It was a little deflating. Pull rates were way too easy. It was a little deflating. But when I'm sitting down comparing and contrasting the two, I gotta say Scarlet and Violet is gonna go down as a much better gen than Sword and Shield as long as they keep everything tracking. So, you got the Magikarp, you got the beautiful Tyranitar, another amazing card. These are going for $17 right now. But just a beautiful artwork. They put in a fan favorite. Everybody loves Magikarp. Everybody loves Tyranitar. They did a great job at actually mixing in fan favorites instead of random Sandacondas and Milotics and Ninetales. Not that there's anything wrong with those Pokemon, but they're just not the big fan favorites like Raichu. Right? Raichu's a fan favorite. Everybody loves Raichu. Everybody loves Pikachu and Raichu. It's a great Pokemon. So, when you introduce stuff like that, of course, those are going to be better, more sought after. With more people collecting them, they'll be more valuable and have, a better price. We still got all the beautiful full arts. We still have Terras. We still have all the full art trainers. We get the special illustrator rares going still, so those are great. We got some new fan favorites, Tinkaton. I know a lot of people love Tinkaton. They kept the line thing going too with Tinkaton, Tinkatuff, and Tinkatink. Just all around, I think it's a better set. You got the playable Iono special illustrator rare. Actually, this one's still selling for more than Magikarp. I actually thought this had dropped to like $50-$60, but it looks like these are still holding some value. I mean, eBay sold listings are $160. I don't know that I necessarily believe that, but $70, sure, why not? I can believe that. So yeah, the Iono is still super, super playable, super like just it adds another layer of value. They've still got the playable cards. They've still got the hit cards. They've still got the full arts. They've still got the gold cards. They've got everything going for them still. So we didn't really lose out on anything outside of the rainbows, but I don't think anybody's missing the rainbows. I'm not missing the rainbows. I like the colors of the card where you can see like the different, vibrant Pokemon. But yeah, so just the fact that they have these illustrator rares, great. Definitely good on Pokemon. Dense hit pool. Again, like the hit pool is just so dense. It starts at 194, goes all the way down to 279. So, what is that, like 80 hits in the set? Versus over here, we start down at 175 and go to 209. So, is that like 30 hits? I mean, that's a pretty big difference. I definitely think, I gotta say, Scarlet and Violet after 2 sets is winning this battle 2-0. Sword and Shield doesn't even hold a flame to Scarlet and Violet at this point. Going into set 3, we've got Darkness Ablaze versus Obsidian Flames. Both of these are Charizard sets. So like that's another thing too. We can kind of look at it. Sword and Shield introduced Sword and Shield Pokemon. Scarlet and Violet introduced Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. Paldean Fates versus Rebel Clash. Both super, super playable sets, including some new staples. Like we got Boss's Orders in Rebel Clash, and we got Iono in Paldean Fates, or Paldean Evolved. Both really, really staple cards in the TCG. Now we go into the third set. We've got Darkness Ablaze, Charizard set. Gotta have a Charizard set. We go into Obsidian Flames, Charizard set. You gotta have a Charizard set. It's kind of what Pokemon does. They know what they're doing. I lost faith in them for a second, but honestly, I don't know why I did. I should have kept the faith. The big Charizard. This is the most expensive card in Darkness Ablaze. It is a regular VMAX, a regular Charizard VMAX. This is the hit you're looking for. Not really a crazy special card. They don't even have a rainbow version of it in this set. There is a rainbow version of it in the next set, but not in this set. Come down, we look at our hits. We got some regular full arts. We got a few full art trainers. None of the better ones. No waifus. Nothing special that would get somebody interested. You got all your rainbow VMAXs. For whatever reason, they left Charizard out. I don't think that was the right play, but whatever. You got your gold cards. Nothing crazy, nothing special. It's kind of a trash set. Darkness Ablaze. Honestly, Darkness Ablaze might be the worst set in Sword and Shield. So I think this is going to be a very easy dub for Obsidian Flames, but we'll come over and look at it anyway. We'll take a glance anyway. Coming to Obsidian Flames, you got the Terra Charizard EX. Super, super cool. Very, very playable too. They made Charizard good in this set. Again, we've got all of our illustrator rares. The Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot line is like doing their little continued family thing. We get the Terras, we get the regular full art. So there's a regular full art Charizard EX. Beautiful card, not very expensive, beautiful card. So many Charizards are in this set though. You get the full art, and then you get the special illustrator rare Charizard, which is a pretty expensive card. They go around $50, pretty expensive card. I personally don't like this Charizard. I think it's got a lot going on. It's not really my style of a card. I don't love it. I know a lot of people do love it. I know it's a cool card. I know it's Charizard. It's a harder pull. I get it. A lot of people love it. It's not for me. Art style, not for me. but still, way better than the Charizard VMAX being the #1 hit in Darkness Ablaze. My favorite card in this set is actually the Gold Charizard. I actually do like this one. I like the little pink wing shimmer look. I think this is a nice card. This is my favorite of the Charizards in the set. But you know, nothing new. We got the golds. We got a gold Pokemon. We got some gold trainers. We got special illustrator rares. Not too many of them. Not too few of them. Full art trainers. Full art Pokemon. Illustrator rare set. You know, same old, same old. Darkness Ablaze, same old, same old. It's got the rainbows, got the full arts, got the golds, got the trainers. But hit wise, I mean, Obsidian Flames again. This is the set. This wins. Obsidian Flames, hands down, better than Darkness Ablaze. I don't think anybody's gonna fight you on that, right? So we're 3 sets through Scarlet and Violet versus Sword and Shield, and 3 for 3. Scarlet and Violet is just destroying the Sword and Shield era so far. I don't even think that any of these have been close. So now we get into our first specialty sets of each generation. So the first specialty set for the Sword and Shield era is Champion's Path. Small set, specialty set, only came out with the ETBs. Good set. I mean, it's an okay set. It's not a bad set. It's got, you know, your normal Garbo bulk. It's got some Garbo full arts. They did introduce the Rainbow Charizard. This should have been in Darkness Ablaze, in my opinion. I don't know why it wasn't. I think if this is in Darkness Ablaze, that becomes a much better set. Might even have a chance to take over from Obsidian Flames. But whatever, they put it into Champion's Path instead. Still don't know why they did that. Whatever. Cool card. Very, very cool card. More expensive card for sure. This goes for about $170. Super, super dope card. And then you've also got the other Charizard, where they introduced the Shiny Charizard V. This is kind of like a precursor to Shining Fates, where they were going to do a whole bunch of shiny stuff. They just kind of threw this in there. This is a super, super dope card. I actually really like this card. I like this card more than the Hidden Fates Charizard. I like this profile that they're showing the Charizard in. This thing goes for like 180. Definitely a huge card, definitely a big card. But outside of those 2 cards, there's really nothing crazy special in the set, and there's really not a lot of value in the set. Like, we got the Rainbow Gardevoir over here. We've got the Full Art Gardevoir over here. These are probably the next best 2 cards in the set, and they're just really not going to hold any value for you. The regular hit cards, not all that great. Another thing I didn't really understand about this set, like, I just don't like this set because, you know, this feels like it belongs in Darkness Ablaze. This is good. This is good. This probably should be in Darkness Ablaze. This should probably be in Darkness Ablaze. We get a Hop Trainer. We don't get a Rainbow Hop. We get a Grapploct V, whatever. But the regular Vs, we get like Duraludon. We get like Lucario. We get Wailord. We get Venusaur. We get Incineroar. We don't get any of these as like full arts. We don't get any of these as like rainbows. Like, I think a Venusaur full art and a Venusaur rainbow would have made way more sense than Charizard. Put this in Darkness Ablaze, and you can still have the shiny Charizard as like a little secret rare kick. I'd be totally cool with that. I'd much rather see a Venusaur full art be here. Something that made a little bit more sense, like a Lucario full art, a Lucario rainbow. I would have liked to see that. So just overall, Champion's Path, not a great set. It's Charizard or bust for this set. And I mean, the odds of getting the Charizard are so small because they're just not good pulls. And then this goes up against what is possibly the best set we've ever had. Scarlet and Violet's first specialty set is Pokemon 151. This is for all the nostalgia Gen 1ers like myself. It's a full set of just the 151 Pokemon, all Gen 1, all amazing. There's a whole bunch of art rares and illustrator rares. You got the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur line. They're all telling a story just like the Raw. I mean, like, just like that Ralts card. We've got the Charmander. He's down here in the rocks. And all of these are like $25 cards, by the way. So they're like all holding value no matter what you get. You got the Charmander at the bottom of the cliff. He evolves to Charmeleon. He's making his way up. And then he becomes the best card in the set. The Charizard, where he's flying out of the cave. He makes his way out. This is still like a $100 card. The best card in this set is $100. Champions Path, the top two are definitely more than that. But as a whole, like I said, every single one of these cards is like a $25 card. It's kind of crazy. You've got beautiful full art cards. You've got beautiful Illustrator Rare cards. I love the Venusaur in the jungle. This is a beautiful card. I love the Charizard flying through the sky. This one is definitely my favorite. This is kind of like Dark Blastoise, but like flipped around and underwater. This just hits home for nostalgia for me. I love the Blastoise. Love the whole line. The Squirtle and the Wartortle and the Beach are also beautiful, beautiful cards. But love the Blastoise. Love all the special Illustrator Rares. I mean, you've got the Alakazam bending the spoons in the workshop. You've got Zapdos with Moltres and Articuno flying through the skies. Erica's Invitation. She's like in the gym in the greenhouse healing some stuff. Giovanni looking over the city like, yes, I'm the best. He's got his little Master Ball back there. They're all great. Gold Mew. Like, just great cards. As a whole, great set. I don't even think it's remotely close. 151 wins. So, 4-0, Scarlet and Violet, going for that sweep here. We got a huge 4-0. Champions Path, 151. Edge, 151. That brings us to the fourth main series set. This is the first time we're going to get something a little bit new in Sword and Shield era. We get the introduction of what is called the Amazing Rares, where it's just like a bunch of color splash. It's like a normal holo, colors kind of coming off the page. Almost has like a Gold Star kind of vibe, the Amazing Rares. Way easier to pull than a Gold Star. You get like 3 of these per booster box, so it's like not a crazy rare card or anything, but it's cool, it's different. I actually really like these. I have a page of all the Amazing Rares in my PC binder, so I actually really like these. I think they're gorgeous, but that's like the first new kind of thing that gets introduced into the Sword and Shield era, so we like that. Vivid Voltage taking some good shots here. They have fan favorite Pokemon, Charmander. There's a Charizard with Leon, his trainer, in the background. I actually really like this card. I think if that was a full art design, like an alt art kind of thing, I think that would be a beautiful alt art. But I like that card. They have some good Pokemon. They introduced Pikachu VMAX. Everybody loves the big Chunkachu. Good set so far. We get into the hits. Pretty good hits. We like the Pikachu. This is like an angry looking Pikachu ready to fight. I like his full art. I like the color scheme of the full art. They chose some good Pokemon here. Steelix, Ampharos, Alakazam, Togekiss. We've got our trainers. We got some good trainers too. The Pokemon Center Lady, Nessa, Leon. Some good stuff. We got all the rainbows, including the Chunkachu. Big Daddy Pikachu over here, trending around like, depending on where you're buying it, $120 to $200. Definitely a really cool card. I like this card. I pulled it a few times. It's a fun card. We got our rainbow trainers. We've got our shiny Pokemon. Overall, Vivid Voltage, not a bad set. I like Vivid Voltage personally. I like the Pikachu. I like the Amazing Rares. Vivid Voltage has a lot of really good Amazing Rares. Like I said, they're not like crazy rare cards or anything, but I just really like them. I like the color splotches. I like how they kind of come out of the card a little bit, give it like that extra dimension. I like them. They're for me, right? They're for me. So it's a good set. Vivid Voltage, it's aging pretty well. Top card in there is like $200, Pikachu. Aging pretty well. Going up against Paradox Rift. Now, Paradox Rift, just like Vivid Voltage, we're 4 sets deep, and they have also introduced another new mechanic. They've introduced Ancient and Future Pokemons as a game mechanic for the actual TCG. So, both of them get a new introduction. Pretty cool stuff. Regular EXs trending around $20. Kind of crazy to think about, but when they're playable, they're playable. Right now, this is a playable card. That's why it's the price it is. But they introduced the Future versus the Ancient. That's why we picked Iron Hands, not because he's playable. He was just the first Future card I saw. Let's find an Ancient card. Find an Roaring Moon. There we go. Another super playable card, by the way. Ancient card. So it's just kind of like future versus past type thing. They made a little introduction for the TCG. It's cool. I like it. We keep going down. We get into the hits. They kept all of the Illustrator Rares. Love that for it. I love this Gimme Ghoul card. It's such a cool one. Gimme Ghoul and Goldango go together. Gimme Ghoul's like stacking up all his coins, and then Goldango goes directly beneath him. And it's like, yeah, what's good? We got all the coins. I like this card. It's a cool card. Whatever. But we got some good hits. We still have all of our gold. We've got all of our illustrator rares, our special illustrator rares. Tons of good hits to get. Fan favorites like Garchomp. I don't love this card. I think the artwork could have been a little cooler, but still a fan favorite Pokemon. You've got Iron Valiant. This is a good artwork in my opinion. It's like a future Gallade for fighting a future Tyranitar. I do like this card. It is very playable. It's a cool card. And then, we got our Roaring Moon. This is like the best card in the set. Definitely the one. Ancient Style Salamence, taking out some Ancient Style Jigglypuffs. It's in the fields. It's a cool card. I like it. Overall, the Pikachu definitely aged pretty well. It's definitely got the nod as in full value-wise. That Pikachu is definitely there. But overall, again, as a set, if I can only take one of these sets and I got to open one of these sets, I'm opening Paradox Rift. I'm not opening Vivid Voltage. I'm opening Paradox Rift. They got plenty of good playable cards. They got plenty of beautiful artworks. I mean, I like all of these cards. The artworks are just good. You shouldn't really be surprised by that either, too. As time goes on, art styles get better, graphic design gets better, the computer and what they can do gets better. It's good. It's a good set. I can't hate on it. I hated on it quite a bit when it came out, but I can't hate on it. This is a beautiful card. I love this Steelix. It's just a beautiful card. I would definitely be happy if I opened a pack and got this. That's it. So again, we're here we are. We're 5 sets deep, and I'm giving a 5-0 run. A 5-0 nod is just coming at Scarlet and Violet right now. Scarlet and Violet is just better than Sword and Shield. I don't think there's any real opposition to that. There's no stance that's gonna be oh yes, through the first 5 sets, Sword and Shield is better. No, Scarlet and Violet's killing it. That's it. We're getting into our second specialty set, 6 set of each generation, and we got Shining Fates versus Paldean Fates. Both are rip-offs of Hidden Fates, which was the best set, but here we go. We got it, normal stuff. They kept some amazing rares, pretty cool. I like those again. I like those. And then we got our shinies, we got our full arts, whatever. We got a few full arts, we got a rainbow. We got our shinies. And these sets are just nothing but a ton of baby shinies. As far as the baby shinies are concerned, I like them. I think they're good. I think both sets kind of have that same baby shiny appeal. They both have very, very similar ones. Here we are in Shining Fates, we've got the Suicune. And when we get to Paldean Fates, we're going to see that there's an Entei, right? So you both have legendaries. You both have starter line Pokemon. Paldean Fates has Pikachu, and Shining Fates has Eevee. Or Hidden Fates has Eevee. They all just kind of have their staple Pokemon, have their baby shinies. They're all good. I'm fine with that. I think that they're all just kind of basic, kind of whatever. It's not what we're here for. We get into it. We get into the full arts. Shining Fates has this bad boy. We got the Charizard VMAX, shiny full art VMAX. This was the first of its kind. It was questioned whether or not they were going to do shiny VMAXs when it came out. Obviously we did. We got the Charizard. It's a cool card. It's a nice card. Hard to pull. It's not the hardest to pull. I pulled a lot of those. But it's nice. It's not bad. We got the Ditto. We got some good Pokemon. Lapras is cool. Then we got the black and gold cards. We got the Eternatus V. This was the introduction of these cards. And then we see these later on in the trainer galleries as trainer gallery secret rares. We see that style. Overall not the worst set. Not bad. It's just kind of a Hidden Fates ripoff. When it came out, everybody kind of just was oh yeah, it's cool, but it's also just a Hidden Fates ripoff. And Hidden Fates was cool because it was the first time they did shiny Pokemon this, to this extent. But this just kind of felt like a ripoff to me. Then we get into Paldean Fates. Truthfully, it got announced, and for the most part, it's also just a ripoff. Out of the 3, Hidden Fates is by far my favorite set, no matter what. You're not going to convince me otherwise. Again, we got our baby shinies. They're cool, whatever. Got our Entei. He's cool. I like Entei. They're cool, whatever. It's good. You got your Pikachu. Everybody loves Pikachu. It's a good card. It's not a bad card. It's just a baby shiny. They're all kind of cool. I think this pool is a little bit bigger. I think Paldean Fates has a few more baby shinies to kind of work through. Snorlax got some love, which I'm a fan of because I'm a big Snorlax person. But overall, you know, same style, same concept. Baby shinies. You get your full art shinies. You know, same style, same concept. Get some trainers. They did do something a little bit new. They did those Illustrator Rare cards with shinies. I thought that was kind of cool. You know, when Shining Fates came out, they didn't have Illustrator Rare, so they couldn't really do something like that. I get it. It's fine. Definitely think this is cooler, though. And then you've got your Special Illustrator Rares, which is... I mean, this Mew is a beautiful card. This Mew is probably my favorite card in the set. Then you got the Gardevoir, another really, really good one. And then you've got this Charizard, which I personally don't like at all, but I know a lot of people like it. Not a bad card. It's just the Hidden Fate Zard is way better than both the Charizard VMAX or this Charizard EX. So I'm taking the GX from Hidden Fates. My guy right back here every day of the week. Not even close for me. The trainers are kind of cool too. I like the Arvin is upside down, losing his Pokeball. There's like the Nimona that kind of goes with it. The Nimona's like got a Pokeball in the middle too. I think a couple of them have the Pokeball. Iono. It's a whatever card. Clive card I really like. I think the Clive card is cool. You got like every trainer with a bunch of like little hidden gems, hidden Pokemon. I like this card. I think there's a lot going on in it, but it's like a good lot. I'm a fan. We got the Penny with the Umbreon. This is a good card. A lot of people like this card. And then you've got the new style gold and like blue cards, which are also really, really cool. Just trying to go back to Paldean Fates card list. There we go. I like that they changed the way that they did the golds for this, similar to how they did with Shining Fates, putting like those black and gold cards in for the first time. Now we've got the teal and gold cards. I do think there was a little bit of a missed opportunity here. I think if they wanted to change the color like that, they should have done them in scarlet and violet. I think that would have been really, really cool to have like a violet background with a scarlet etching. But hey, whatever, you know. Pokemon gonna Pokemon. It's cool. Overall, I don't even think it's close. I think just the fact that this card exists at all, hands down, Paldean Fates beat Shining Fates. So now we're just like mobbing them. We're 7 sets deep in the Scarlet and Violet era. I have talked so much trash about Scarlet and Violet being worse than Sword and Shield, and here we are. I'm sitting here comparing, contrasting all these sets, and we're on a 6-0 run for Scarlet and Violet being better than Sword and Shield. So I'm kind of eating my words a little bit. Paldean Fates definitely better than Shining Fates. And now we are into set number 7 for each. The most recent one, we are up to date. Scarlet and Violet is going to be Temporal Forces. Sword and Shield is going to be Battle Styles. And this is going to be the one set where I'm actually going to spoil this for you guys. This is the one set where Sword and Shield is going to start to take over. Sword and Shield getting the full nod for me here. I like it way more than Temporal Forces. If you gave me a box of Battle Styles and a box of Temporal Forces, I'm ripping the Battle Styles. Not even close. But let's take a look at it and we'll talk about why. You got all your normal stuff. Nothing changed here. We got our bulk. We got our Vs. We got our yada yada. We got our this. We got our that. We got our next thing. We've got our full arts. But what changes here is we get the addition of alternate art cards. You got your regular full art Empoleon, and you've got your alternate art full art Empoleon V. I think this is a beautiful card. I think the introduction of alt arts as a whole, great idea. And I know Special Illustrator Rares are kind of like alt arts, but they've been with Scarlet and Violet from like the start of it, so they didn't really introduce anything new there. We've had alt arts since the middle of Sword and Shield, since Battle Styles, so it's not really like anything new. It's kind of just expected that they were going to be there. And these cards are actually like much harder chases. You get a more like fulfilling feeling when you pull an actual alternate art. I also love the fact that there are like secret rare alternate arts. Like you got your Vs, but you've also got your VMAX alternate arts, like this Urshifu VMAX, the Waterbending Bear. Beautiful card. And just about all the alt arts are great. We got our Urshifus. We got our Tyranitar. This is one of the bigger boys in the set. It's like a $90 card. I like these. I like the alt arts. I like the fact that they added alt arts. Everything else is good. The Houndoom is a good gold card too. I just like this Houndoom. I'm a Houndoom guy. I like this card. I think it's a good card. We got our full art trainers. We got a couple waifus mixed in here. We've got some good rainbows mixed in there. We got some good playability. The Urshifu deck was really, really good when it first came out. So definitely some cool cards. Some fan favorites like Mimikyu are in here. Victini's in here. Tyranitar obviously is in here with an alternate art. Great set. Great set. I love Battle Styles. Truthfully, I think Battle Styles gets a bad reputation. It's definitely like a B tier set, but a lot of people like just hate on Battle Styles because sets that came after it were like exponentially better. But like Battle Styles is a good set still. I don't understand the hate. Then we get into Temporal Forces, and Temporal Forces, same old for the most part. They did introduce one new-ish thing. You could call it new. It's not really new, but they brought back A-Specs. So A-Specs came out in the black and white era. The A-Spec Master Ball does exist. It's a black and white card. They're really cool. They're really good cards for the game. That's kind of what they're for. Pokemon brought those back. I don't know if that may be a precursor to them bringing back some other stuff potentially. But they brought back A-Specs. It's cool that they brought it back. It gives that little nostalgic feel. They are cool cards. I do like them. I like the colors. I like the textures on them. It look really, really nice when you see them in person. They're great cards. I do like them. And then they kept everything else, mostly the same. We've still got all of our Illustrator rares. And they're beautiful cards. Like, as a set, just like comparing the hits, comparing the Illustrator rares, these are beautiful cards. I love the Relicanth. The Ghastly is kind of out of control right now. We got our full arts. Those are good. The full art Gengar is a nice one. We've got our Illustrator rares. Everybody loves Raging Bolt, myself included. It's a beautiful Illustrator rare. I do like this card quite a bit. You got some good stuff. Morty's Conviction, my favorite card in the set. Just Gym Leader Morty chilling at a cafe. He's got a Gengar coming up out of the floor. The computer doesn't want to work with us, but there it is. Beautiful card. This was my chase card. We did pick this up actually this weekend. Pretty fun card though. I like it. Whatever. But as a whole, they just didn't really introduce anything new. We went right back to the old style gold card. We got the special Illustrator rares, which are nice. They're all really, really nice. I'm not hating on the set at all. From an artwork perspective, I think Temporal Forces is better. From an artwork perspective, from a just general hit perspective, possibly even from a value perspective, you might be able to say that this is a better set. Personally, I'm still taking Battle Styles. I like my T-Tar. I like my Urshifu. I like my Empoleon. But I think the reason for me that I'm giving the nod to Battle Styles is just because they introduced something that hadn't been done before. We haven't had it yet. They're beautiful cards. The alternate arts really are beautiful cards. I love them. I think they're amazing. And Temporal Forces, I was kind of hoping Pokemon would introduce something new here, similar to how in Battle Styles we got alt arts. Instead, they went the other way. They brought back A-Specs, which is cool. It's fine, but it didn't really feel... It felt a little bit lazier, I guess. And, I'm just kind of basing these sets kind of on what came before them, what we've already had. And I think this is kind of like the first spot, set 7, is where it's like Sword and Shield, the era itself, was actually a little bit better because we got something new, we got something super cool, and it paved the way for Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike. It paved the way for the Charizard, the Giratina, the Lugia that we get from the later sets. And here in Temporal Forces, we got some A-Specs, they're cool. Maybe it paves the way for them to open the door and go back and bring back Gold Stars. Maybe it paves the way for them to bring back shiny secret rares or whatever they're going to do. Or maybe they're going to come out and do tag teams again. I don't know. Maybe they're going to recycle something. But it doesn't feel like they're paving the way for anything new to kind of take over and be something really, really cool. I'm not seeing 2 sets down the line us getting another Moonbreon. Whereas with Battle Styles, we got that Tyranitar, we got that Urshifu, we got that Empoleon, and then we just kept getting them. We got the Galarian Moltres, we got the Blaziken, we got the Shadow Rider. Then we get all the evolutions, all the dragons. The alt arts were special, and it just doesn't feel like Temporal Forces introduced that special new thing yet. So I'm going to give the nod to battle styles there, even though I know most people would actually take temporal forces. I'm not even going to argue that as a set. Cards are beautiful. Set is definitely loaded with hits. The fact that they even have this is awesome. But just from a perspective of how are things going and which set is winning, I'm taking battle styles. But still, either way, I've been so hard on Pokemon. I've been so hard on the Scarlet and Violet era, and I think that I have to eat my words on this one. I have to say, just looking at all the sets and looking at where things started, where things came from, where things are going, Scarlet and Violet through the first 6 sets, it's a no compete. Scarlet and Violet's better. Sword and Shield was kind of slacking those first 6 sets, but set 7, Sword and Shield's winning. We're gonna have to see what they do with set 8, set 9, keep going down the line. We'll see what happens. You know, when it's all said and done, we'll do like an update video where we compare it and see, like, maybe I was right. Maybe Sword and Shield is going to end up being better. But right now, through the first 7 sets, I got to say, I think Scarlet and Violet is the better generation of Pokemon. I think there's a lot of potential here. I think that it really could be like the generation of Pokemon cards. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you guys like Scarlet and Violet? Do you guys think that it's too early to tell still? Do you guys think that, you know, Sword and Shield was just better? Like, what are your guys' takes? For me, I am going to say I have a newfound faith in the Pokemon Company. I think they're going to get back on track. I think Scarlet and Violet is going to start taking off again, and I am optimistic to see what comes next. After comparing them, I got to say, Scarlet and Violet, this could be the generation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, we will catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a great day and a great time pulling some Pokemon cards.